Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Shanks Ranks. I have another review for you here today. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This is Turbine's 3D Blu-ray release number 12. You can buy it single like this, or it also comes in a bundle with Friday the 13th Part 3, which I've already done a review on, and Scream 6, I believe. So let's get into some tech specs real quick. So this movie was released in 2023. Its runtime is 1 hour and 39 minutes. It's rated PG. It's got a Dolby Atmos surround soundtrack, and it is in 2x35 widescreen. 2x39 widescreen. So you will have the black bars on the top and bottom. It's got a IMDb score of 7.2 out of 10 and a Rotten Tomatoes score of 95%, which is pretty high. So just to give you a little flashback here, if you're as old as I am, I grew up on the live-action Ninja Turtle movies that came out, I think, like the first one was in the early 90s, I think. And that was such a cool movie for me. It was gritty, it was live action, dark, with just a little bit of humor too. I still remember Raphael saying, "Damn!" And I was like, oh my gosh, the Ninja Turtle said a bad word. And then we had the Ooze sequel that came out after that had Giga Shredder. That one was pretty cool. And then there was the third movie, which I think they went back in time or something, and the only reason I even watched that movie was because Casey Jones was in it. Then there was a CGI animated movie, TMNT, that came out in the early 2000s, which I actually really enjoyed too. And then of course we have the Michael Bay films, which I know a lot of people didn't like. I liked the first one. Second one was so-so. 3D was really good in those, by the way. And then we have this one. Now, I've never read any of the comic books, so I don't exactly know the true origin stories of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but this one was very bizarre. The animation was very bizarre, too. I mean, we've got mutant flies that have afros. We have Papa Splinters with mullet afros doing disco moves. We have Giga Mutants at the end of the movie that are comprised of flies, whales, horses, and all sorts of weird stuff going on. It's a pretty bizarre movie. But the animation was really cool. I think it was Paramount, their way of doing kind of like the Spider-Verse animation. It's got a very comic book feel to it. So you've seen the clips that I just showed you, and you see how they don't really look too 3D, they're not really blurry or anything like that. Well, that's because it's not too great 3D, at least not in my opinion. I can guarantee you that it's going to be like that throughout almost the entire movie. The depth was very mild, usually only taking advantage of the background of the city and not really of any objects that are on the outside of the screen or characters like that. And it's very mild. I was expecting it to be similar to the 3D of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was phenomenal depth, and it had quite a few pop-outs too. But ultimately, I was let down. The first chapter in the movie shows probably the best of the depth, where these goons in an armored vehicle are going to retrieve the scientist and his mutants, and that was probably some of the better depth in the movie, with some of the characters actually popping off the outside of the screen. Nothing actually comes out into the middle of the screen during the entire movie. As far as the pop-outs go, there's only 2 scenes that I can remember where something kind of popped out of the screen. And again, it wasn't in the middle of your living room or anything like that. It was just barely reaching outside of your screen, I feel like. And that was a scene where the turtles are fighting these goons in a tire shop or something like that. Donnie's holding out his bow staff, and it kind of comes out of the screen. And then there's a scene later on where Papa Splinter comes in to rescue his boys, and he's holding out his hands like he's getting ready for some kung fu, and his hands are kind of popping out of the screen just a little bit. But other than that, that's all there really was. The picture quality itself was actually really good. Picture quality, overall, I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars, because the animation was really good, the colors were really nice and vibrant. There were no dark scenes with really muddy blacks or anything like that, no crushing blacks that really made the 3D suffer at all. So the picture quality was really good. For the depth, I'm probably gonna have to give this one 2 out of 5 stars for the depth. I almost considered giving it 1 star, but because it was consistent throughout the entire movie, even though it was mild, at least it was consistent throughout the entire movie. So I'd give it 2 out of 5 stars. For pop-out effects, 1 out of 5 stars easily. I was teetering on where to leave this, either C tier or B tier. Ultimately, I ended up going with C tier. You know, objectively speaking, yes, it's a great movie. The picture quality was good, but for a 3D Blu-ray, I expected more, and I was ultimately let down. Do I think it's worth buying? Well, if you're if you're somebody that's like strapped for money and you just want to make sure you're spending what little earnings you have on, you know, the best of the best, no, I don't think it's worth it. But like I said, Turbine does offer a bundle deal where you can get this, Scream 6, and Friday the 13th Part 3. And Friday the 13th Part 3 is definitely worth it. I haven't watched Scream 6 yet, but Friday the 13th was like S tier. So, and it's really affordable too. It's not that bad. So I think if you get the combo pack, then yeah, you know, you have an extra 3D Blu-ray with you. And if you're a completionist and want to collect all of Turbine's releases, then even better. But yeah, the movie was awesome. I loved it, even though it was bizarre, very strange. I was also pleasantly surprised by some of the voice actors I recognized. Like we had Jackie Chan as Papa Splinter, and then we had Ice Cube as Superfly, and I thought they did excellent jobs. I think it's a really fun movie to watch with the family. I highly recommend seeing it in 3D or 4K, either way. And before I let you go, I just want to say, you know, even though the 3D was super mild in it, it's not a bad 3D disc. Like, yes, I did put it in C tier, but it's not like it takes anything away from the film. Because like I said, the picture was bright, the colors were nice, really good clarity, and it does add, you know, a little tiny bit of depth to the movie. So, and that's not bad, right? So it's, you know, I don't think it takes anything away from the film. So if you are an avid 3D collector, then, you know, sure, why not? But yeah, that's where I'm leaving this one, C tier. I'm gonna watch Scream 6 next, which came in the bundle with this, and hopefully that one is a little bit more exciting on the 3D end. But thanks for watching, guys, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing. Have a great day.